What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
You always want to tell a fun, exciting story, and every time I've ever made a movie, I go into it going, I want this to be the best movie ever made.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
Who's the Disney character you identify with most? Mickey, Nemo, Peter Pan, or Dumbo? Dumbo. That's sad, but yeah, like...
I only have one gear, bro. It's all the way. Bleep it if you must. Bleep it if you must.
Like, who has been the most exciting person for you tonight? Oh my God. Besides, but shut took the words out of my mouth. Besides, I'm a narcissist.
What the hell is even that?
What an idiot I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing.
Because right now there's more dwarves on this podcast than there are in the new Snow White movie. And that's probably due to Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
When I was a child, I used to think Snow White was a Japanese lady. She has geisha-like pale skin, black hair, and tends to 7 ugly white men.
So will she rise or bow her head? Will she lead or just be led?
I did not like Snow White. The reason why is that the actress that plays Snow White, she acts like a all the time.
Weird.
Stop everything and lean in, because what I'm about to unveil is the single most delicious slice of Hollywood drama you will hear all week. Jack Black, the boisterous bard of comedic chaos, has just served Rachel Zegler an ice-cold reality check after the spectacular implosion of the live-action Snow White remake.
You had one job. Just the one?
Kalel, no. Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it?
What did you say?
So exciting. Very interested to find the men who brought those.
Why should I help you?
Because we're asking you nicely. Just tell me what it costs to get her away from me. Name a price. I'll buy the whole damn boat if I have to. Who are you? The lasso of Hastia compels you to reveal the truth. Now, who are you? But who?
Enough.
I said enough. As Amazons, this is our duty. You have no idea what kind of power you're doing.
According to sources close to the situation, Black felt the on-screen chemistry was non-existent and the acting was soulless, a major reason the film failed to resonate with audiences.
Please welcome Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen.
Their work makes the impossible seem possible.
With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations.
Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
You heard that right. No whimsical woodland creatures, no magical fix-it kiss, just a blockbuster failure and a brutal tongue lashing that echoed from soundstage to boardroom.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because like we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
According to insiders, the very moment the first weekend box office numbers rolled in and revealed that Minecraft, yes, the pixel-packed flick everyone predicted would tank, was printing money faster than Disney's reboot was losing it, Jack stormed into the green room with all the subtlety of a bass drop at a rock concert. And before anyone could pop a gluten-free apple strudel, he asked the burning question every fan had typed in comment sections for months. Rachel, why are you tearing down the story that made Disney the powerhouse it is? Allegedly, his voice carried through the corridor like a thunderclap. That question was not laced with malice. Oh, no, friends. It was dipped in unfiltered frustration. amplified by the unmistakable sound of audiences' worldwide face, palming in collective disappointment.
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
Snacks all over the set that are apple flavored. And that hurts my feelings.
I was gonna say,
It's like they don't know what happens to me.
It's
There's
okay.
gonna be so many stories that come from the set about how difficult I am to work with simply because I don't want apple.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
South Park doubled down with a follow-up sketch featuring a spoof press conference in which a faux Disney executive replaced every beloved character with a new, edgier version. The kicker: the crowd booed until a cartoon Jack Black kicked down the door and shouted, "Stop killing fun!" Cue studio audience applause. Disney insiders whispered that board members watched that clip in stunned silence, realizing the company had become a punchline for the first time since the 90s Euro Disney debacle.
I sat through the whole thing. This was really bad. It was extremely leftist on every political dimension: racial politics, sexual politics, class politics, regime politics. Its narrative was cowardly. It was just awful.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight, and it's pretty hysterical actually to watch. She's literally the only person there, and do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Okay, so
And the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event where people are going to just be part of something to interact with the movie itself. The kind of thing that really creates like a kinetic movement.
And just when the dust appeared to settle, an anonymous whistleblower leaked a 30-page document detailing proposed edits, reinserting the prince, restoring 2 of the dwarfs, and adding a new duet in the 3rd act. The price tag? An additional $80 million and a release delay of 6 months.
Meanwhile, something wild was happening across town. The Minecraft movie, yes, the one critics mocked as too childish and blocky, was blowing up the box office. Fans were pouring into theaters. Critics were eating their words. And in just one weekend, Minecraft made more in the US than Snow White pulled in globally, after 3 whole weeks. That's when the Jack Black firestorm erupted.
It got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made 2.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial statement. But it says, meanwhile, over in the kingdom of crumbling crowns, Disney's Snow White dropped like an enchanted apple.
What they really mean is they're describing a worldview that hates you, that hates everything America stands for.
Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your ass, and most importantly, in the most insufferable possible way, like screamed at you by an ugly woman for 2 hours.
At this point, audience trust had evaporated faster than dew on a summer morning. Families returned to theaters for multiple viewings of Minecraft, drawn by its unapologetic silliness and the irresistible charisma of Jack's gravel-voiced hero. Let's rewind to the spark that lit this dumpster fire. It began when Rachel Zegler, newly crowned as the fairest in the land, told reporters the original film from 1937 was, quote, weird, slammed the prince as a stalker, and proudly declared that her Snow White needed no rescuing and no romance. Viewers who had grown up humming "Someday My Prince Will Come" felt sucker punched. Suddenly, Mirror, Mirror reflected not nostalgia but negativity, and Jack Black, who secretly harbors a deep respect for Disney classics, was not having any of it.
Black, beloved voice of Kung Fu Panda and star of Minecraft, allegedly confronted Rachel Zegler during this meltdown moment. Behind closed doors, he reportedly questioned her behavior. Why was she calling fans trolls? Why mock the story that made Disney what it is? Why insult the prince, ditch the dwarves, and turn Snow White into a personal soapbox? Sources say Jack didn't hold back.
She doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point.
So you had the marketing material not being all that good. A lot of advertisements were really mediocre for this film. And to top it off, they made tons of changes and they strayed away from the source material, which upset a lot of fans.
Just like to sit in the back in the dark with no one watching me, just to gauge the audience and see if they laugh as hard as I do.
Today's presentation of a Minecraft movie. Please, no throwing popcorn. Also, absolutely no chicken jockeys!
Test screening footage later leaked, and it was brimming with CGI goblins standing in for the beloved dwarves. According to people who saw the raw cut, the chemistry was colder than a winter in Narnia. The crowd reaction? Mostly uncomfortable silence, punctuated by a single audible groan when the prince was demoted to cameo status. Sources say that when Jack viewed those clips at a private industry mixer, he nearly choked on his mini corn dog. He allegedly turned to a producer and quipped, "So the only dwarf left is Sleepy, because I am dozing off watching this." The room laughed nervously. Executives mumbled something about modern sensibilities and inclusive storytelling. Buzzwords that in Jack's view translated to cookie-cutter culture war talking points layered on top of a plot thinner than rice paper. Meanwhile, Rachel doubled down in interviews, laughing that Andrew, the actor hired to play the prince, might see every scene with him sliced in post. "It's Hollywood, baby," she quipped, wearing what onlookers described as a smirk of supreme confidence. Fans recoiled, and Jack, ever the champion of the everyman, felt the sting.
This movie exists, by the way. You can't tell me Minecraft is the worst movie of 2025 when Snow White exists. That's right. Minecraft movies are going to make more in the weekend than Snow White's made in its entire theatrical run, and we know why. Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform, it is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be. Teens in suits, shouting lines, cheering, like it was a concert. Check out the energy, unreal. Disney Snow White is flopping hard. Why did Minecraft win? Because they stayed true to their actual audience. If Disney had made a faithful adaptation to the original Snow White, it would have made $1 billion.
One assistant claims he even joked backstage, "Mario got a more faithful adaptation. And that dude's entire vocabulary is, 'It's a me.'" The quote went viral within hours. Cue opening weekend. Families who once penciled in Disney releases as automatic Friday night outings stayed home, while teenagers in formal suits flooded multiplexes for Minecraft, chanting creeper quotes and cheering every time Jack's character swung a diamond sword. By Saturday afternoon, financial analysts were frantically updating spreadsheets. Minecraft raked in $60 million that single day. Snow White? 2. Just 2. You did not miss here. That is not missing a zero. $2 million. Numbers do not lie. And Jack reportedly marched into the Snow White press junket war room wielding those stats like Thor's hammer.
Nothing has brought me greater joy than watching the Walt Disney Company absolutely panic over the last few weeks. They're mad at South Park because they're making fun of their woke ideologies, constantly race swapping or religion swapping everything in their movies.
It's a brand new exclusive event with all your favorite South Park characters.
Dude, school is going to be so awesome today. I had explosive diarrhea all night. I like big boobs.
Oh, hamburgers.
How does this even make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. I think the problem is you.
Maybe fans are not trolls, he thundered. Maybe they are just bored of being lectured. According to a stylist who witnessed the showdown, Rachel attempted to deflect with a nervous laugh, claiming that critics simply could not handle a strong, independent update. Jack, eyebrows arched higher than a startled cartoon owl, replied, "Independent does not have to mean insufferable." That line ricocheted around the internet faster than a meme about Baby Yoda sipping soup.
It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. It's Hollywood, baby.
You to say all of Andrew's could get cut. Like, who are you?
Oh my God.
Are you Disney? I've read your book, and I have. It's a phenomenal book. You're losing generation of loyal viewers. When you think about Snow White, what is the premise? What is the story?
It's a love story. It's a love story.
It's a dream for a girl to grow up and a man falls in love.
I'm really upset.
Within hours, the trending tab was dominated by the words, #Jack Black was right. Disney's damage control squad scrambled like headless chickens. They issued cryptic statements about respecting all viewpoints and continuing to fine-tune the creative vision. Translation: someone in the glass tower realized they had a catastrophic PR nightmare. But let's pause for a quick hydration break. If you are enjoying this blow-by-blow breakdown, smash that like button right this second and subscribe. Seriously, it takes less than a breath, and it tells the algorithm you prefer piping hot tea over lukewarm corporate press releases. All set? Excellent. Because the plot thickens faster than an over-reduced gravy. After the clash, Disney quietly commissioned a focus group study.
Zegler also faced blowback after posting Free Palestine. The note is from Israel and served in the Israeli army.
And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White and the prince and young love and women who want to get married and Steven Spielberg, the executive producer of her previous movie, and white people who she claims wanted to know if she was really a Latina on her first movie.
I never really wanted to talk about politics. I kind of tried really, really hard to avoid it because no one wants to hear celebrities talking about political issues, right?
And they postponed the release of this thing, Ben, for a year because their star, Rachel Zegler, was so unlikable, told all Trump supporters that they could f off, excuse me, but she did. That was just in November. They didn't even know she was going to do that one. And then she came out and she said, I apologize. Like, I went too far. But it wasn't sincere.
The results were disastrous. 85% of participants found the new Snow White preachy. 79% said they missed the dwarfs. And 60% claimed Rachel's portrayal came off as condescending rather than empowering. Word of those stats leaked to Jack, and insiders say he erupted, asking aloud why the studio spent $400 million ignoring its own research. Allegedly, he told a senior VP, "You do not need a magic mirror to know this movie lacks heart." Meanwhile, Rachel's social media presence turned into a lightning rod. She posted a selfie with the caption, "Some people cannot handle change," and the replies were a battlefield. Within minutes, Disney pulled her from scheduled morning show appearances, citing scheduling conflicts. Rumors swirled that Rachel, shaken by the ferocity of backlash, entered therapy. Her socials went dark, save for one minimalistic story. White text on black, stating she was taking time to heal. Industry trade papers soon reported that Disney had hired a well-known crisis management firm. Their first recommendation: shift promotional emphasis toward the Wicked Queen, played by Gal Gadot, in hopes of distracting from Rachel's controversies. Predictably, that pivot fell flat when early clips surfaced showing a lackluster villain performance. Critics labeled it regal but robotic. And because disaster loves company, South Park swooped in like a vulture on a carcass, lampooning Rachel's interviews and Disney's so-called modern spin. Their parody depicted a racially swapped Cartman shrieking, "I do not need your business," while hurling apples at terrified woodland sprites. Tasteless? Maybe? On point? Absolutely. Jack, ever the jester, apparently watched the episode with his teenage son and laughed until soda sprayed from his nostrils. "Sometimes satire is savage for a reason," he quipped on a late-night podcast, refusing to apologize for finding humor in Hollywood hubris. At the same time, Minecraft mania was reaching critical mass. Videos of fans cosplaying as pixel pigs flooded TikTok, while theater managers reported audience sing-alongs rivaling cult classics like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Disney's top brass convened an emergency summit. Word from the Mouse House is that Chief Executive Bob Iger demanded to know how a film meant to celebrate nearly a century of cinematic history morphed into what he allegedly called a televised TED Talk about identity politics. Cost estimates for reshoots ballooned, reputation repair budgets inflated, merchandising partners quietly reduced Snow White toy orders, rerouting resources to other properties. One insider from a major toy company summed it up bluntly: kids do not want lecture dolls. Meanwhile, over at the Minecraft red carpet afterparty, Jack led the voice cast in a sing-along of "Throw Your Pickaxe in the Air," surrounded by euphoric fans dressed as blocky bees and creepers. It was the photographic negative of the Snow White press gauntlet. One side brimming with unforced joy, the other bracing for the next PR flare-up. Financial analysts soon downgraded Disney's quarterly earnings forecast, citing Snow White's performance as a notable drag. Investors asked pointed questions about whether the live-action remake strategy, once a mint for printing cash, had finally hit the wall. In that boardroom gloom, someone allegedly played a clip of Jack Black on a morning show. He leaned forward, peered into the camera, and said, "Audiences buy magic, not moralizing." Pin-drop silence followed. Another layer of drama unfolded when leaked emails revealed that Disney had quietly considered removing song sequences entirely to shorten the running time. The idea was promptly shelved after backlash from composers and choreographers who threatened to go public. One of Rachel's co-stars, speaking under condition of anonymity, confessed that morale on set was sub-zero. Extras reportedly whispered jokes about bringing emotional support therapy dwarfs to lighten the vibe. Harsh? Maybe. Yet that is the mood when a $400 million production becomes a cautionary tale. Allegedly, reshoot schedules now keep cast separated to avoid further friction. Rachel films in the morning, supporting players in the afternoon, stunt performers at night. Coordination resembles a military operation designed to keep everyone's egos from colliding. Jack, in contrast, shows up to Minecraft promotional tours wearing rainbow overalls and gifting reporters diamond block stress toys. His message is constant: entertainment should entertain. Full stop. Remember that therapy rumor? Sources close to the situation say Disney is footing the bill. That revelation sparked another round of online snark. The most expensive part of Snow White was not the CGI, it was the group counseling. Ouch. Fans, meanwhile, started a grassroots movement labeled "Restore the Dwarfs." They printed t-shirts with cartoon pickaxes and left 7 plastic mining helmets outside Disney headquarters. Security guards were not amused, but the stunt trended for days. And because karma has a savage sense of humor, Minecraft crossed the 300 million domestic milestone the same weekend. Snow White limped past 10. The gulf is wider than the Grand Canyon. Now we arrive at the climax. Picture a closed-door marketing meeting. Rachel arrives, determined to salvage the narrative. Jack is already there, arms folded, chart on the screen comparing ticket sales. He points to the abyss between the two curves and softly says, "Fans warned us, we did not listen." Then, with surgical precision, he scrolls to a slide titled "Respecting Legacy." Line by line, it lists classic elements: Snow White, shredded; the innocent romance; the 7 dwarfs with hearts of gold; the simple moral that kindness triumphs. Rachel reportedly fires back, insisting times change. Stories must evolve. But Jack counters that evolution should enrich, not erase. A witness says the temperature in that room could have chilled champagne. Another insists tempers remained professional but icy, with every sentence prefaced by the phrase, "with all due respect." The most jaw-dropping moment? Jack ends the session by handing Rachel a single red apple. No words, just that. Symbolism so potent, you could hear the metaphors crashing like cymbals. Word is, Rachel stared at the apple, eyes brimming, whispered something inaudible, and left. Whether she took a bite, nobody knows. But the image leaked. An iPhone snapped by a nervous intern, and the internet went nuclear once more. Memes exploded. Jack Black as the huntsman delivering tough love. Rachel Zegler clutching a cursed fruit labeled "Public Backlash." Even Avengers Circle images got re-edited. Jack stepping forward while Mickey Mouse says, "Jack, assemble." Now let's steer through the aftermath. Disney has reportedly slashed projected global totals for Snow White by half, bracing for a write-down. Theme park attractions referencing the film are on indefinite hold. Meanwhile, Minecraft merchandise is flying off shelves so fast that suppliers have resorted to overnight shipping just to keep up with birthday party demand. For those claiming Jack went too far, consider this. In every interview since the incident, he repeats the same refrain. I love Disney. I just love the Disney that loved us first. Translation: nostalgia deserves nurturing, not gutting. As we inch toward the finale, let me ask you. Yes, you glued to the screen. Who do you think steered the bigger wreck? Rachel with her dismissive commentary, or studio execs who greenlit every controversial change? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. I read them all, and the spicier, the better. Quick housekeeping. If you have not already obliterated that like button, now is the perfect time. Subscribing guarantees you never miss a morsel of celebrity carnage. Plus, it helps this channel stay algorithm-proof when the next tidal wave of Hollywood hubris crashes ashore. Before I close the storybook, for now, remember, this saga is alive. Reshoots are underway. Marketing pivots are planned. South Park is sharpening its next parody. And somewhere in a studio office, an intern is probably printing apology drafts just in case. Will Snow White's second act reverse the curse? Or will it cement Rachel Zegler as the cautionary queen of Hollywood blunders? Only time will tell, and you can bet your last enchanted apple, I will be here to dissect every twist. Until then, stay skeptical, stay entertained, and never forget that the real magic is made by audiences who know the difference between a heartfelt fable and a hollow lecture. This is your host, signing off, but not saying goodbye. Because in the immortal words of that very first Disney feature from 1937, we whistled while we worked our way through this fiasco, and we will whistle again when the credits roll on the next chapter. See you soon.